With the arrival of spring, I found my days being filled with small, familiar things. Tending the garden, moving slowly, staying close to home. I thought this season would be quiet, just tending what I already had. At the time, I didn't realize it, but something was already beginning to shift. This season was quietly leading me somewhere unexpected, and it would stay with me. There are certain days that feel simple in the best way, the kind you spend wandering slowly, taking your time, letting things catch your eye. My mom joined me for one of those days, and we hopped from one garden center to the next. Moving through rows of green, gathering little pieces of what this season might become. And not long after, I brought it all home, ready to begin again in the garden. Okay, so I'm going to start off by germinating my squash seeds because I want to give them a bit of a head start. I think that'll be a really smart idea. I think I'm going to do 6 and see how well the 6 of them germinate. Okay, they're going in. This is the moment of truth. This little bed sits just outside my studio window, a place I pass by every day, and one I've been quietly imagining filled with life. My ever-bearing strawberry plants will live here, along with some companion herbs and a few flowers tucked in between. A simple selection, but everything arranged with care and intention. I've been extra intentional this year about my soil health. I'm introducing worm castings into my soil to boost richness and nutrients, and also adding forest humus that I gathered from under my raked leaves. And the decaying leaves that I raked up are working perfectly as a mulch to help retain moisture in my beds and improve the soil overall. I settled into these quiet rhythms, tending to small things one day at a time. There's something about planting this time of year. The way everything feels like it's just beginning, even if you can't quite see it yet. And there was a stretch of days where the wind didn't seem to settle. And somehow, it felt like everything was beginning to shift with it. And before I really had time to make sense of it all, I found myself on the move, leaving home for a few days, carrying a quiet sense that something was unfolding, even if I didn't quite know what yet. There's a strange kind of stillness in moments like this, somewhere between where you've been and where you're going. Time feels different, softer somehow, like you're being carried into something new. By the time we arrived in Houston, the day had begun to settle around us. We were tired, a little quiet, and just taking it all in. A moment that felt so much bigger than us. Something unfolding far beyond where we stood. It felt strangely fitting somehow, like we had stepped into the middle of something already in motion.
Seconds to the Artemis 2 mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange.
Our first morning in Houston began with a little coffee quest, and it led us to this charming square within walking distance of our hotel. I'll get you and you can get me. I was there because of Vego. Personally invited to spend a few days at their farm with a small group of creators and garden lovers. Hello, Brad.
Thanks for having us.
And after arriving and meeting the welcoming crew who so thoughtfully put this event together, it began to sink in just how special this experience was going to be.
And this idea came out, and I was thinking, we had this idea for a long time too.
Yes.
Let's make it happen. So this year, 12 months later, and we are here.
Love the cohesive design. Yeah. I was so honored to be a part of this. to experience the very place where so much of what I've been using in my own garden begins and where much of the magic happens. It truly felt unreal. They encouraged us to explore the farm grounds and capture whatever content inspired us, and that would aid in helping to shape a story we would never forget. The beauty of nature unfolded around me, and it was so encouraging to be surrounded by like-minded creatives that have a passion for gardening and have found their identity so strongly in Vego as I have. Hello.
Yourself or pest anatomy and life cycles. Life cycles are going to tell you how they grow and when they're alive, and their anatomy is.
And that evening, we gathered for dinner at a local garden-to-table restaurant, which is a favorite of the Vego team. It felt like something out of a story. Farm animals wandering nearby, long tables set beneath the open sky, fairy lights overhead, and little details tucked into every corner. It was so classy and so beautiful. And it gave us the opportunity to slow down, to connect, and begin to know one another more. Good morning, friends. How are you all doing? It's day 2 of the Vego Field Lab, and I'm so excited to be here, as I'm sure that you could understand. Last night we got in a little bit late after the farm-to-table dinner, and I was absolutely exhausted from the day. I don't know why it took so much out of me, but I was just utterly spent and ready to go to bed. But first, I needed to catch up with David, hear how his day went. He said he had an amazing day going to a local gun range, going to an amazing Texas steakhouse, and talking to some really friendly, wonderful folks. And I think that he made some wonderful memories here that he'll cherish forever. So that truly was just the cap of a perfect day for me, hearing about his wonderful and exciting adventures. This morning, David has already left to start some new adventures. He's going to be going to the Staccato factory and do a tour, and again, probably meet some amazing folks there. He's just so stoked because the Staccato is like his favorite gun, his dream gun, and he's just talked about it forever. So since we were here and it's only less than 3 hours away, he wanted to head there and see what he could find out. It's just been a lovely visit here in Houston. I'm so beyond blessed that I was able to be a part of it. And thank you guys for watching. And I hope that you're finding a little bit of this interesting, if nothing more. I hope you're enjoying that you can learn more about Vego and maybe be inspired to try some of their products, because everyone that joined this this meetup has had nothing but wonderful and amazing things to say about Vego, as well as share experiences with other gardening products that they've used in the past, which have been really bad experiences. And in comparison, Vego's just great. And one of the things that I've really enjoyed is that every single one of us agreed that Vego has been the best brand that we've ever worked with. They have so much integrity, so much care, and it really truly feels like a family. So, if nothing more, take away from this, knowing that you can feel confident making purchases through Vego and that you can trust them, because they're just an amazing, passion-filled, dedicated company with a heartfelt team. See you guys in a little bit, and thank you again for being here. Bye.
I love to feature coffee on my content as well. It's just part of that slow living, cozy.
By day 2, I was more familiar with everyone, so naturally, I was less nervous and shy.
This is Bridget.
Hi, Tiffany.
Okay, so just share your social media handles.
We're having a great day out here at Vego Garden, and I'm Bridget. My channel is Peach in the Pines, and I'm from South Georgia.
South Georgia. Yeah, she is so sweet too, y'all.
Got to represent the East Coast, the Southeast.
Talking with everyone was so uplifting, and we didn't just talk about gardening. We also discussed equipment, techniques, and just what it's like to be a content creator. And I'm not sure which topic I enjoyed more, because it all has my heart.
Feels good
Nice.
to get my hands dirty.
You already did plant one?
Yeah, I did one.
We're gonna have to make signs for everyone. It's so funny. I love that everyone's giving each other together. My mother, for real.
And Vego even trusted us to do some hands-on planting in their garden beds. And the laughter filling the air was contagious. Everyone just had so much fun.
We gotta get some water on this guy though. You can tell he's
Yeah.
It's dry. It's a little dry.
the soil's moist. Just you can tell by the
Check the
leaves.
weather out. Get some more rain.
Nope, back up.
What's that? Oh, I love that. Nice.
I have one apple for a Hindu.
And we ended the day with a tour of their headquarters, getting a glimpse into everything happening behind the scenes.
So excited! Welcome!
Oh my goodness!
Snack office.
The mascot.
Oh,
Superstar.
oh dear.
Hi. Hello, beauty.
Weren't expecting that cuteness. more than anything, you could feel the care in the way things were run, like a well-oiled machine. It all just moved with a kind of quiet intention. And the people behind it, and their happiness and their joy, made me feel even more blessed to be a part of this meaningful experience. Hey. Smell those? You want to smell those flowers? No. And back home, everything was waiting for me. Unfinished, a little chaotic, exactly as I had left it. And even though there was a lot waiting for me when I got back, I couldn't wait to pick back up on my garden goals with renewed inspiration. Hello, friends. It's another Saturday, and I'm up to a lot of projects again out here. I'm going to try to do a little bit of spray painting. I've got these shutter spikes that I thought it was a really neat idea, the way that I poked them all upright into this thick cardboard. And I've got all of these to spray paint. But I definitely want the shutter spikes to be the same color as the shutters, and we did have to buy some new ones we just got unpainted, unfinished. So I'm going to go ahead and at least get these painted before the wind picks up out here. Here I am outside of the bedroom windows, and they're shutterless. This is a project that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I had to kind of decide, buy all new shutters, work with the ones that I already have, what would be the best bet? Well, it's very difficult to purchase new shutters in unique colors, and I didn't really care for the color options available. So then I kind of settled on the idea of painting. And I just thought, you know what, for now, let's just save a little money and be a little more practical by just removing the shutters that we already have, painting them, and then putting them back up. So that is what we're going to be attempting to do. The only thing is, we've had so much wind lately. March and April can be such windy weather, such windy types of experiences. So spray paintings have been a little bit more challenging, but we finally have a day that's very calm and still, and I may not get everything done in one day, but I know I can at least get a few things started. And this is where I'm choosing to do the spray painting. You can see this whole area back here is opened up because we had to have a giant tree taken down. And in order to take down that giant tree, we also had to take down a tree over here. So it really just opened up the space a good bit. And yeah, now we can just decide what we want to do back here, if anything, in this newly acquired large area. But for today, it's going to serve great for me to do some spray painting projects. Maybe this season isn't just about growing a garden. Maybe it's about growing into something I didn't even know I was ready for. I'm still in the middle of it all, but something about this season feels different now. There's a kind of clarity I didn't have before. A quiet sense of direction, even in the small things. Like I've found my footing and I'm learning to trust it, one step at a time. So before I go, I wanted to share something small with you. Over on Instagram, I've partnered with Vego to host a Mother's Day giveaway. If you'd like to take part, the details are waiting for you there. Thanks so much for watching, lovelies. See you next time.